Most of you guys don't speak loud enough. That doesn't mean you need to be yelling, but you need to practice vocal projection anyway. Volume is a tool you need to have available to yourself whenever you need it. It's extremely important. Of course, you can consume more information. Information is important, but reference experiences are more important. The most important thing is that you have as many interactions as possible. Make the world your playground. You talk to an Uber driver, you talk to somebody at the reception, you talk to a security guy, you talk to the bouncers, you tip the bouncers on the way out, not on the way in, that type of stuff. Talk to people. Talk to people everywhere. Then you get flow, and then you go through progressive desensitization. It always works. You can get to approaching directly, as in, excuse me, 2 seconds, you're really cute, I had to come and say hi in a week or two, immediately. I want you to get there ASAP, but it depends. You can do that in a week or two, or you can do it in a month. I would rather have you be done with it in a week or two, so you can do as many direct approaches as possible. If you do like as many approaches as possible in a short period of time, you're gonna have a lot of growth, right? Massive action. Just as many as possible, and progressive desensitization, so you don't overwhelm yourself. You do it in a way where it's fun, because you have to enjoy it. After every approach, you have to have a positive inner dialogue. People say, oh, I need to work on myself. This is the most powerful way to work on yourself, because after you get a rejection, you have to master your own mental and emotional state. You have to refuse to beat yourself up for it. You have to refuse to live in an adversarial relationship with yourself. You can, under no circumstances, be hard on yourself. You can say, oh, she must be a lesbian, ha ha ha. Or you can come from the ultimate frame. The ultimate frame to deal with rejection is actually compassion. If you come from a frame of compassion and empathy, you're automatically not below her. You can't really have compassion for somebody that you put above you. It's very difficult. You're at least on eye level with somebody in your own mind if you have empathy for them. Coming from an empathetic, compassionate place automatically puts you at least on eye level. Voice all of the thoughts, even if you think they're unreasonable, because these thoughts are within you right now and they're stopping you right now. So we address them and we can solve them very quickly. Anytime you have a thought, even if you think, I probably shouldn't say it, say it. Come to these calls, talk to me about it, because now I can address it. Shame only exists in the shadows. Mindset problems, blind spots only exist in the blind, in the dark. Once we shed light upon them and we reframe them, then it's not a problem at all anymore. So let's address each of them one by one. Well, the latter one was, I'm bothering her. You're not bothering, but you are interrupting. You're supposed to interrupt them. Let's say you're in the middle of a phone call with your mother. You're having a really important phone call with your mother, okay? It's like, and you're connecting, you're having a beautiful moment, and somebody interrupts you. But that person offers you $1 million. Would you be angry at that person for interrupting you? Ah, interesting. Even though you're busy, even though you're by yourself. Now let me ask you something. Over the next 50 years, how valuable is a lifetime with you for the right woman? $1 million pales in comparison. And the fact of the matter is, for some women, it will be an annoyance. Very few. But to be honest, the second she's not interested, we leave her alone instantaneously. So it's only ever an offer. And yes, you will interrupt her, but for the right woman, the interruption will be very welcome. And let me tell you something, even the women who will reject you, they will still welcome the interruption, most of them. Even if women are married, they'll say, I'm actually married, but thank you so much for coming over to me. If you're really nice about it and you share a lot of positivity, even when they reject you, 9 out of 10 will still perceive it as a positive. There is a woman, there are actually multiple, there are actually thousands of women who would kill to have an opportunity to be in a relationship with you. And there are also thousands of women who would wish death upon you if you actually spoke to them. You need to rewire that shit. And you rewire it by changing your inner dialogue and by what you focus on. Wow, I actually have a lot to offer. I'm kind, I'm caring, I would treat her really well. Even just that. Do you know how many guys treat women like shit? There's also plenty of women who treat men like shit. But there's also plenty of guys who treat women like shit. If you're willing to treat her well, that's fantastic. If you're able to offer stability, you're able to offer a fucking life of happiness together. What more does she want? You just think, oh yeah, but I'm not fucking Leo and I can't put her on fucking Jeff Bezos' yacht. Even Jeff Bezos' woman looks at Leo and goes like, oh, we've all seen the picture. A yacht doesn't even do it. The right woman doesn't want that. You have stability. You are able to provide a life and a family and happiness. What more does she want? That's what you're able to provide. You get your shit together. We all have flaws that we need to work on, absolutely. We're not perfect, but we don't need to be perfect. If we needed to be perfect to be deserving of a relationship, nobody would have one. And talking about deserving a relationship, you only deserve what you work for. Yes, from a spiritual perspective, you deserve because you exist. But in a more practical way, you don't deserve anything unless you act on it. You only deserve the relationship if you dedicate yourself to the process. You don't just deserve without taking action. You are exactly as worthy and deserving as the actions you take. But that's beautiful because that means my worth, my deservedness is 100% within my control. A beautiful woman appears in consciousness. I see her, in other words, and I take the fastest, straightest route to her. I won't walk in circles. I'll boom, straight out. When I saw Fernanda, say hi, babe.
Hi.
She's like, David, caralho. When I met her, I saw her from across the dance floor in that bar pub club in Dublin. I moved people out of my way gently and respectfully, boom, straightest way. And I pointed her and I said, you. And how was that for you, babe?
Awesome.
Awesome. Yeah, exactly. For a woman, it's amazing. The second you lock eyes, you walk over instantaneously, immediately. You don't have to have the perfect opener. You practice your opener. Excuse me, the seconds you're really cute. I come and say hi. Then you do module 4. You do the rest from the training videos. You put that into practice. The opener doesn't matter. You just walk over. You train yourself. The second I see her, I start walking. The second I see her, I start walking. Instantaneously. Go through progressive desensitization first. Go through that training video. Put that into practice. But then make it a meta habit. The second I see her, the second I become aware of her existence, I must act. But then also, sometimes we won't. Right? For whatever reason, we won't do the approach. Also, don't beat yourself up for that. There's just no beating myself up for anything ever. I do the approach, awesome. I didn't do the approach, awesome. It's all awesome. Just don't drink alcohol when you go out, but you can go to bars. Clubs, I wouldn't necessarily recommend, but bars. And during the day, it's the street, it's shopping malls, it's the beach, wherever you happen to live. And during the night, it's bars with high velocity. The reason you freeze is because you expect yourself to be able to do this. But for example, can you walk and ask for directions? Okay, then after you ask for directions, you could give a compliment and then walk away. After you ask for directions, you can have a conversation and then just compliment her dog and walk away. Or you can just have a bit of an indirect, you know, you build it step by step. It's explained in detail in there, but you want to go step by step. And then it's easy, because right now you're expecting yourself to be able to do a direct approach with a compliment. Excuse me 2 seconds, you're really cute, I had to come and say hi. That's difficult, that's not that easy. That takes a week or 2 or 3 to be able to do that. So you first want to go, just say hello, hello, and excuse me, where's McDonald's? Okay, thank you. Excuse me, okay, cool. And then you just go and you say, ask for directions. How do I get to Starbucks? And then you continue the conversation and you give a compliment and you walk away. Then you ask for directions, continue the conversation, give a compliment, ask for her Instagram, you know, and then end it. And then if you go step by step, it'll be easy. But it's like the solution for you right now is not inner dialogue, it's actually going through progressive desensitization. It is much better to go to a bar by yourself than with a bad wingman. If you want to have a better relationship with him, be really radical and say, I'm not going to go out with you anymore. You're bad to go out with. You're not good to go out with. You're negative. You're stubborn. I love you as a friend and I think you're awesome. And I want to spend time with you, but I'll never go out with you ever again until you change that mindset. But Bar and I, we talk to each other like that. We're just like, bro, this was really bad. You made me feel like blunt honesty. It hurts a bit, but it's okay. If I'm in the gym and you and I are talking in between sets, that's fine. The second my 2 to 3 minutes rest are up, I'm getting on the bench. Our conversation is absolutely secondary to the set. I'm not gonna wait 5 minutes. The conversation is secondary. I need to get back on the bench. If there is an approach, if there is a woman that I wanna go speak to, I will interrupt your and my conversation right in the middle of it, because that's what we're out to do. This is the implied agreement. And if you have any problem with that, this beta cuck is in a relationship with a totally average girl right now, totally pussy whipped, and he's a cuck. He's a cuck to this day, and I offered him so much help, and he's a pussy. Some men are meant to die a pussy. Now you can all change that. That doesn't apply to all of you because you're working on it, but some guys really fucking suck at wingmanship. I would much rather go out alone than with a cuck. Somebody's like, yeah, why are you taking so much action? You're doing so much approach. Can you not just chill? Chill? I chill when I'm exhausted. Up until I'm exhausted, I don't chill. I take action. Even if it's just sparring with friends, playing UFC competitively, I will take action. I don't want to chill until I'm exhausted. We're not on a night out in a bar to chill. We're there to talk to women and to meet your future wife. Let's just chill. See? It's a negative future projection. It works. Techniques, that's what I'm saying. 80% is mindset, but these techniques, They just work. The strategy just works. Yeah, of course, because you realize where you're at, and where you're at doesn't match where you think you should be. By the way, whenever we feel depressed or down or bad in life, it's when the way things are don't match the way things are supposed to be, and we feel unable to bridge the gap. We have pain when we feel that things aren't the way they're supposed to be, and then we feel really down, incapacitated, so to speak, if we feel unable to bridge the gap. And then you created pressure within yourself, and you thought, oh, it'll never work. And then you bought into a story, you believed the thought that was making you suffer. Whenever you feel bad, you can also ask yourself the question, what's the thought that I'm believing right now that's making me suffer? What's the thought that I believe right now that's making me suffer? Oh, that one. Is it really true? How do I know it's true? What else could be true? What else could be true? What can I learn from this? If life is happening for me, not to me, what would be true? If this was a gift, what would be true? Okay. What do I need to change? All right, I understand. Yeah, you just vibe it out. You talk to the ones you want to talk. You talk to everybody. You got to make the group laugh. You got to have fun with the group, vibe, be fun, and then talk to the ones you want to talk to, and then it's a little bit more inbound. You don't want to be like, hey, excuse me, it's really cute. It's more indirect, obviously, and then you see who you vibe with, and then you're like, hey, cool, you go for a walk with her, and then you like isolate with her. In other words, you just go for a walk at the beach with her, right? That's the whole point. You're gonna need to get some one-on-one talk. Hey, let's go for a quick walk. But first, it's more about the group. Be engaged, make the group laugh, here's the key, be totally free in your expression. If you can be free in your expression and really not care, just totally freely, don't be weird, but totally freely express yourself, and then still talk to people, and then move things forward, it's good. You gotta read the signals. When she gives you a sign, be like, but you gotta lead. You gotta, hey, let's go for a walk, cool. It's not a thing that you do, it's something you are. It's a mode of being. It's fun, it's positivity, it's laughter. No alcohol, fun, positivity, laughter. The other people can drink, don't drink. Just don't be weird, be free from outcome. Intent, but also be free from outcome. Know what you want to accomplish. If it's gonna happen, awesome. Most importantly, fun, positivity. Fun, positivity. If there's somebody's up for it, boom.